Hey, good morning to everybody. Daryl P here, aka Artist in Recovery. This is the time of morning where I'm usually just getting up, getting out of the shower, and I'm looking through the trending news to see what I'm going to do my street rhymes and spoken word videos on. I usually do spoken word and street rhymes, a short 180-second rhyme about what's trending that day. And without a doubt, what's trending today is Jimmy Kimmel. And I have a little more to say. I'm still going to do a Jimmy Kimmel street rhymes and spoken word, but I want to talk about this just face to face with you guys because this affected me. I actually was canceled yesterday, and I want to talk about that. I'm going to show this video on both YouTube and TikTok. For those of you on YouTube that will already have seen the tail end of this video, I apologize for that, but the people on TikTok did not see it yesterday, despite 3 attempts for me to show it to them yesterday. It was ghosted, my video yesterday. I'll get to that in a second. Let me talk about Jimmy Kimmel first. And when I saw this story just about an hour ago, when I first woke up, I felt like I was gut punched. I felt scared. I felt scared for this country. I feel truly like our free speech is being taken away. I feel like I'm starting to feel empathy for the way that the right felt a year or two ago when they were all crying about cancel culture. I'm starting to understand how they felt. Back when that happened a year ago, I kept saying on video, look, this isn't about free speech. This is about you saying things that the majority of people don't like. And it's a business decision. You know, people are taking you off the air because the majority of people don't like what you're saying. And if you're going to have a sponsored show, you know, people are going to put their products on advertising, you know, and if people don't like what the show's saying, they're not going to watch it. It's going to make less money. It's a financial decision. That's what I said before, a year ago. Now I'm starting to understand, you know, because it's happening now. Although with Jimmy Kimmel, it was pressure from the FCC and Donald Trump. Now Donald Trump is pressuring the 2 other late night comedians to be taken off the air for no special reason other than they make fun of him. Now that's a whole different story. Okay, so I'm starting to have empathy for the way that the right felt a year ago when they were crying about cancel culture. Because I told them, look, it's just a financial decision. The majority of people don't like what you're saying. And now it's come back to haunt me. I'm not sure if it's the majority that don't like the Charlie Kirk comments, but it's the same situation. You know, ABC and CBS are making financial decisions to remove somebody that a lot of people were offended by, you know, and what can I say about that? Because a year ago, I was defending it, you know. I think I started asking myself, have we all become so freaking sensitive and butthurt that we really can't deal with free speech anymore? That's a good question. Okay, let me get into what Jimmy Kimmel said. Because at first, I felt like I was gut punched. I felt scared for free speech. I felt scared for myself. Then I saw what he said. Whenever I do videos here on YouTube and TikTok, I try to be 100% honest because I don't see, if you have to lie or be dishonest about your point, about your position, then you don't have a very good position if you have to lie about it. All right. So Jimmy Kimmel said, and it was a joke though. So should you be able to lie in a joke to make, you know, is lying funny? Not really. You know, so I started to question what he said. Was it a good idea to, you know, was the suspected shooter, the alleged murderer, was he MAGA? I don't think so. I don't think he was. I think he was a deeply disturbed individual. I think he had MAGA parents, but I don't see anything that specifically, some people said he dressed as Donald Trump for Halloween, and that's not true. I saw the picture. He was riding a green-faced Donald Trump doll. So it's kind of the opposite. You know, I got to be honest here. I can't stand Donald Trump. I don't like what's happening to Jimmy Kimmel and everybody else, but I got to be honest here. Jimmy said that it was MAGA, that the shooter was MAGA. And that's just not true. As far as we know, that's not true. I think he's a deeply disturbed individual. I think his parents were MAGA, but there's nothing really solidly to point to that. And then I thought about this, because a lot of people on the right are saying that it's making them a target. It's blaming them more, so they're scared. And, the thing with what's happened to Donald Trump, the 2 assassination attempts before and now this. And now Jimmy saying that the shooter was one of them, they're feeling victimized. They're feeling ostracized. They're feeling scared. And today, me feeling scared, I could kind of relate to that. So I question, even though I'm I consider myself a leftist, a woke leftist liberal, I have to question the joke that Jimmy Kimmel told, because it doesn't hold up on the truth meter. It doesn't. And is lying funny? We have to ask ourselves that. Is being dishonest funny? Especially with something of this nature. Like I said, a year ago, I was telling people on the right, it's just a financial decision. And now I'm starting to see my own words come back at me. Okay, what happened to me yesterday? I made a video because I wanted to deal with this. I made a video, and I'm not going to show it now because I worried about what I said. I made a video reciting the 23rd Psalm, just a 3 or 4 minute video, talking about how, since I've been in recovery for 19 years, I pray every morning, because a lot of people on the right are saying that people on the left are evil and godless and all this other stuff. And, I pray, I believe in Jesus, so I recited the 23rd Psalm. But in this video, I was going to make a point on how I grew up around firearms, and I grew up shooting firearms, and I'm a person on the left that doesn't have a problem, that supports the Second Amendment. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. But what I said was I inherited my father's collection, and then all of a sudden I stopped myself because I'm like, oh my God, what's this going to sound like? And I'm not going to show the video now because then with me stopping and not explaining what I was saying, it sounded even worse. Like I said, my point was, I was trying to make a point that, you shouldn't pigeonhole people. You shouldn't characterize people. You shouldn't paint people just all as this one, that all Democrats or all liberals are evil and godless and the whole Second Amendment thing. All right, the other thing that happened to me yesterday, I did 3 different videos trying to get my video on TikTok. Usually I do a spoken word video every morning, and it gets about 1,000 views in a couple hours on TikTok, spoken word. Then I do another one, street rhymes, same words, but I do it out in the street, memorized, and it gets another maybe 1,000 views. Yesterday, I usually get about 1,500 to 2,000 views on those 2 videos on TikTok right away that morning. Yesterday, yeah, 4 views on 3 videos. So I did one again because I thought there must be a glitch. I got 2 views for the first hours. Another one, I got 3 views. And this just can't be. Even out of curiosity, even if somebody doesn't like what I'm saying, they'd still watch the video. So I have no other way to think than that TikTok censored my video. So I really want you guys to see this video. If you saw it on YouTube already, I apologize because it got about, I don't know, probably got about 1,000 views on YouTube. I'm going to show it again now, but I'm not going to say the title because I don't know if that had something to do with it. And so this whole cancel culture Charlie Kirk thing is affecting me directly here too. What happened to Jimmy Kimmel? I don't know, but I'm definitely getting more empathy, more understanding for the way people on the right felt a year ago, when a lot of them were being taken off the air for saying things about the Obamas or whatever, even though they're offensive and racist or whatever. Now people like me are saying things about Charlie Kirk, and we're being penalized. And I have to apply the same standard. Maybe it's about the majority of people not liking what I'm saying. And it's a financial decision, like with TikTok in my video. But I'm still going to try to sneak it to you right now. Anyway, here it is. I'm not going to tell you the title. I say it right in the beginning. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be back later with spoken word and street rhymes about Jimmy Kimmel. Have a good Thursday. What's happening? This is Spoken Word by Daryl P. I call this Snitches and Snowflakes. Well, this week in a press meeting, Trump threatens an ABC reporter asking about free speech. Maybe we should just go after you. a dictator-like threat, and in any democratic country, a clear overreach. Ted Cruz says that all good, God-loving Americans should rat out their coworkers and friends. Anything deemed hateful, and you're out of a job and livelihood on which each of us depends. And MAGA influencer Ali Alexander called on Trump to arrest and possibly kill 500,000 U.S. residents. All that's needed is to be associated with leftist groups like Antifa as rock-solid evidence. Only 9 months into Trump's 4-year term, and he's already talking about hunting Democrats, leftist Democrats, and anyone who disagrees. Apparently, we are enemies of the state if to this homophobic, racist podcaster we don't show our remorse and sympathies. Just 1 year ago, the right was up in arms about themselves being canceled. And now we're entering an era of snitches and snowflakes as our First Amendment rights are clearly trampled. Thank you. Thank you very much.